Hey, what's up guys, it's Ronald here. So this video is going to focus on ASA, also known as Action SA, going into complete unhinged mode. Now, Action SA decided to vote with the ANC for their budget, and they said, oh, but we will support the budget if you do everything in your power to ensure that there isn't a VAT increase. Everybody on the sidelines shouted at them saying, you are complete idiots for trusting the ANC. The ANC is not going to remove the VAT hike. It's going to happen. And ASA, the senior leaders and everybody said, no, we will make sure that there is no VAT increase. And now we know there is going to be a VAT increase. Now, instead of ASA and Herman Mashaba as their leader going out on social media and apologizing to South Africa for being hoodwinked by the ANC and falling for something that the entire South Africa warned them not to fall for, they have decided to start attacking people left, right, and center. This is not only Herman Mashaba, this is also Athol Trollip, this is Michael Beaumont, this is their councillors, their members of parliament, their members of provincial legislatures that are now just going out on an attack on everybody that has something negative to say about ASA. Now, this is clearly demonstrating just the party in its truest form, which is a vanity project for Herman Mashaba. Action SA, ASA, has not had an elective conference in 5 years. They were established in 2020, and since then they have not once had an elective conference to elect their leadership within Action SA, which means that this is clearly just a vanity project and a dictatorship by Herman Mashaba, because until such time as they have their internal elections, it is just whomever is at the mercy of Herman Mashaba. So all provincial leaders, all members of parliament, all councillors, all members of provincial legislatures are all elected by Herman Mashaba. That's it. It's not internal structures. It's just Herman Mashaba being the dictator and deciding who gets placed where. That is why you see all of them singing along the same hymn sheet as Herman Mashaba. That's why nobody is speaking out against Herman Mashaba within Action SA, because they're all too shit scared that their paychecks will be taken away. And it's quite sad if you think about a party that proclaims that it stands on principle when everybody in the party is too scared to talk to the dictator and tell him, listen, you need to calm down. Because Herman Mashaba is unhinged on social media at the moment, and none of the top leaders or provincial leaders in Action SA is taking a stand or even calling out Herman Mashaba for the clearly racist stuff that he is saying. So, in a nutshell, Herman Mashaba is upset that the ANC has now allowed them to have egg on their face, and as a consequence of that, he's not going after the ANC. No, he's going after every other political party to make himself look better. But yet everybody warned him. Everybody warned him not to trust the ANC, and yet he did it. And now he can't even apologize to the public. That's now caused a 0.5% VAT increase. In actual fact, he is showing some terribly racist comments on X. And let me just show you some of it. So here he is responding to Adams van Zyl, also known as Conscious Carical, saying, so Conscious Carical said, I see your new best buddies in the ANC have taught you well, Herman. But then he responds, some people suffer from guilt of their violent past. 2025, no more state machinery to suppress open debate and fight for social justice. So yeah, he is stereotyping a young white South African because he's white. No racial undertones there at all, right? Here's another one. He says, just imagine a descendant of the most brutal and savage system trying to teach me about morality. Oh, please. And this is a white female called Lorraine. So Herman Mashaba is literally blaming Lorraine for the state of South Africa at the moment and blaming her for apartheid. This is the leader of a political party in South Africa that a lot of white people decided to vote for. And this is how Herman Mashaba sees you, dear white person that voted for ASA. He sees you as an oppressor. He sees you as a beneficiary of apartheid. And that's it. He's made it very, very clear. I mean, this is just two. Let's go further, right? Here's another one. A vote for the DA is a vote to bring back the evil system of apartheid in disguise. Because Celia Brink is a white South African. Then another one. Don't forget, South Africans, Dean McPherson is a son of a former senior National Party member in Natal. Apartheid is in his blood and DNA. Yeah, Herman. Okay, so you are now blaming the children of people that believed in a specific system, right? So sins of the father. Should we go and check what your father did in his youth? And then if he committed any crimes, then we should just put it on your shoulders? I mean, do you see how absurd and insane this is and what he's saying? So because your father or your grandfather did something or said something, now that means that you are exactly the same. How is that not stereotyping? How is that not racism in its purest form? Another one. Self-imposed privilege is a very dangerous and incurable disease. National Party descendants, once again referring to white people, are the only ones entitled to work with the ANC, no one else. Action SA on the mission to stop this blackmail, misinformation and propaganda to save South Africa to go back in the hands of the Nats under democratic dispensation. So the intention is to reverse of the policies meant to address redress committed before 1994, using ANC 30 years failure as an excuse that such policies are not good for South Africa. It goes on, but do you see how unhinged this guy is? Here's another one. We are dealing with an ingrained, long-standing problem of self-proclaimed superiority complex and values practiced over centuries, which the coalition government in Tshwane is proving to be otherwise. What? Hence such hatred and vile towards Action SA. Action SA is proving that working together as fellow human beings is the right thing to do. Action SA is proving that evil people have no particular color, race, gender, religion and creed. Hence this hatred, because it challenges the big agendas that the DA wanted to prove that. I think he must stop drinking and posting. Here's another one. We were almost deceived by our kindness to see just and fair South Africa by those who wanted to maintain the status quo. I genuinely thought you meant well. I can't say the same today. Your disappointment means nothing. I'm the one feeling disappointed. Start writing about apartheid atrocities as well to mend the disappointments and demonstrate your balanced journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, it's become very clear that Herman Mashaba is unhinged and that he is a blatant racist. By bringing up people's fathers, grandfathers and forefathers and accusing them of saying, well, you know, if your grandfather or father was like this, that means that you are exactly the same. And then talking about beneficiaries of this and beneficiaries of that, but in the same breath, not acknowledging that for the last 31 years in South Africa, there's also been beneficiaries. Beneficiaries of broad-based black economic empowerment, affirmative action, employment equity, 142 race-based laws. But hey, blame Whitey, right? It's always Whitey's fault. Whenever you fail at doing something, like listening to people when they say don't trust the ANC, then instead of apologizing, you can just go on unhinged mode on X and start blaming white people for stuff that their fathers, grandfathers and forefathers did. To everybody that voted for Action SA, this is what you voted for. You voted for somebody that hates you because you are white. And when they look at your white skin, they see your father, they see your grandfather, they see your forefathers, and even though none of them might have had anything to do with colonialism or apartheid, purely because of the color of this, he will blame you and he will see you in a different light. How is that not racist? So please, to everybody that voted for Action SA, regardless of race, like, do you really support a leader that says these things about people and not judge them on their character, but judge them on what he perceives their forefathers did. Is that really the type of leader that you want? And then, of course, it's been 5 years and there's been no elective conference, internal elections. It really is a one-man dictatorship. And this dictator is starting to lose his mind. So just make sure that this is the party that you want to support. And then to everybody that is currently within Action SA, that is in leadership positions or are getting a very nice salary every month, is this really what you stand for? Can you really defend this? I'm sorry to say, but it looks like you are just there for yourselves and for a salary. You aren't there to improve South Africa, because this man is not wanting to improve South Africa. He is belittling and insulting people based on the color of their skin. He refuses to apologize for an absolute failure in allowing himself and his party to support the VAT increase, and not even apologizing afterwards to say we were wrong, we should not have trusted the ANC. If this is what you support, then keep on voting Action SA. But I think that there are a lot of South Africans out there that are very disappointed, not only by Herman Mashaba, but also by ASA, and particularly the leaders below ASA, like Michael Beaumont, Ethel Trollip. These individuals that people have a lot of respect for, but they're not speaking out against Herman Mashaba. And the only conclusion that people can reach is that you're not speaking out because you are scared that he will remove you, and thus your salary will go down the drain and your position within parliament or legislature or in council will be taken away. Shame on you. You're not standing on principle. You are standing on your stomach and your paycheck, and that is quite sad. And that's pretty much all I got to say. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Smash that like button. Please share this video far and wide so more people can see it. And if you support me and my content, please consider becoming a member. You can do so by clicking the join button below. And that's all I got to say. Till later. Cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre.